Hello? Okay, sorry. All right, so we're an official meeting now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you got
Okay,
it.
this
Do the
is the
hammer.
town, now we're official.
All right.
This is the Town of Rocky Hill Economic Development Commission meeting, regular meeting, Tuesday, September 10th, 6 PM. Well, 6:10. Call to order. The next section is reserved for public comment. This portion of the meeting is specifically set aside for comments from the public, who are asked to limit their comments to 2 minutes. Any person interested in providing public comment remotely should email publicmeetings@rockyhillct.gov prior to 4 PM on the day of the meeting, at which time a link would be provided to attend the meeting as well as instructions on how to participate. I don't believe we have any links or anything? No. All right, so, and next we have the approval of minutes.
I make a motion to approve?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No. Discussion? No.
No.
And now we have Chris Cambereri from the Middlesex Chamber for the chamber update. Yes, please.
Yeah, so the audience can hear you.
Good evening, Chris Cambereri, Middlesex Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for having me. I missed the past few meetings. As I mentioned to Dawn, I have a standing meeting this time, so but I put it aside
It's all right.
tonight,
You're
certainly to
others.
come here. So a few things on the chamber side. Well, actually, let me again introduce myself. I'm the Director of Economic Development at the Chamber. We have 3 that work in economic development. I don't oversee what they do, but we're all involved in really different initiatives. As we know, economic development is a huge umbrella. So, when you say, will your part-time economic development coordinator be busy, it depends on where they go. Certainly, they'll take on the work of the grants, but eventually it will work into something full-time. What I do at the Chamber, like I said, I'm Director of Economic Development. The initiatives that I'm working on, a couple manufacturing initiatives. We have someone who works legislative, which I oversee as well. And then we have someone who works specifically with grants. And so we're always extremely busy. So the manufacturing initiatives that I'm working on, one is the South Central Manufacturing Partnership, which is a regional sector partnership under the Governor's Council. They created these about 5 years ago to develop workforce pipelines in manufacturing. And we're in year 4 of a 5-year grant. And what we do is a lot of career awareness through the schools and really trying to change the perspective of manufacturing. It starts with the parents, really. It's no longer they say dirty, dark, and dingy because they're going in there and they're pressing buttons. It's like they're wearing lab coats and the robots are doing their thing. But with that, Arborg is having an open house on I believe the 28th. Let me see. I have it right here. So I'm going to be going to that, and I believe they have people coming in from Germany. They have a lot of their dignitaries coming in. That's going to be on the 26th, and then on the 27th they're hosting students. So
That's cool.
they'd like you to sign up online, and it'd probably be good if your commission hasn't seen what they have there because it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And I do know at one time they were talking about expansion, and so that's something to find out. Ray knows all about that. Ray and I have talked about that before, but it'd be a good opportunity to see what kind of gem you have in Rocky Hill because you do have a lot of them. Henkel's another one. If you ever get an opportunity to visit that, but also the state the officer of manufacturing in the state of Connecticut, Paul Lavoie, he visits a lot of manufacturers. He's great. DECD is great. They're wonderful to work with, and all these other resource organizations. So if you have the opportunity to meet with any of them, they could really help your town in direction or resources. Dawn and I were talking about one earlier. Advanced CT, who presented to our manufacturers, no, today was, I'm sorry, Economic Development Steering Committee. There's a lot of,
Right.
as Alan knows, there's a lot
Excuse
under
me.
our umbrella. Dawn and Ray have attended that in the past, our steering committee meeting, but today we had Advanced CT. They're presenting on what they do and how they help bring businesses in and help with retention. So there's a ton of resources out there. You know, the chamber, we're resource people. So if we could connect with you, if you have a site visit going on, if you have a business tour going on, and you want to ask us to tag along, we'd be happy to. And anything we could do for you guys, reach out, and like I said, we'll try to make the connection or help you with anything we can.
That's great, thank you.
You're welcome. If anyone has any
Excuse me.
questions, I'll be here for the next.
So the Arborg open house,
Yes.
how do we get connected with that, or?
They actually put
Sign
that out on
online.
LinkedIn, I think.
Oh, yeah?
So I think it was an open invitation on LinkedIn, but certainly I'm sure they'd love to have you there as EDC
I
commissioners.
think it would be nice for
Yeah.
us to go.
And that's on the
Okay.
26th?
That's on the 26th. I don't know if they have capped it, the attendance, but I do know there was a lot of interest in it.
They're also having a charity golf event on September 25th.
Yes, you just found it, exactly, yes. And they're wonderful. I've been there, well, I was there once before on a tour, and like I said, it's a gem in your backyard. It really is. You got a
Oh, yeah.
lot of great
Let's pull up
businesses here.
there.
But you also, you know, you have a lot of great leaders, too. And
We've worked hard to get the businesses here.
well,
yeah.
absolutely. And the next thing is to make sure they stay.
Right.
Because you never know when, we
Ooh,
talked about
all
this
day.
morning, you never know when they may have some growing pains, and there could be someone in their ear that has a building, if they don't own it, and looking to move them. So it's a good opportunity. It could be a good opportunity to sometimes reach out. Ray may have a different opinion on this. Some, you know, your top 10 employers, just to find out how they're doing, show them a little love every now and then. But like I said, and I'm sure Ray's listening, but sometimes you don't want to have the conversation because everything's fine. But part of what we do is a lot of the top employers in our county, we try to, you know, reach out to them as often as we can. You know, I know you had Joe here presenting, Joe Centinello.
Joe was here, yeah.
He's our business development director, and he's amazing. He's amazing with businesses. He's amazing with people. So he's out there. You know, we have a few in the chamber that get out there to really in outreach and just try to keep people happy and connected.
Yeah.
So there's a ton of resources out there. So if there's a dilemma, reach out to us. If, you know, of course, we'll try to help you solve it any way we can.
Great.
Question for you.
Yes.
I know Middlesex Chamber, you know, we're so big. Do you guys have resources or people that might have connections as far as small businesses, large businesses, whichever, not so much like manufacturing businesses, that might be looking to certain towns to get into certain towns and looking for space?
Yes, and Dawn and I touched on that. So Advanced CT is an organization that was formed out of CERC, which used to be in Rocky Hill. And CERC was created data for the towns, and they've expanded that to business expansion, retention.
CERC? The Connecticut Economic Resource Center,
That's CERC,
SERC?
yeah.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
they're
I
advanced
have that.
CT.
That's
We
great.
got that in our,
Right, in the
in our email, in our packet, yeah.
Okay.
It's advanced.
So that's now Advanced CT?
Now Advanced CT. And so they have so many more services, and that's exactly what they do.
Oh,
They don't work a lot with the, you know, you might have a 1,000 square foot space.
Yeah.
They're working with a lot larger operations, really, but you never know if they have a franchise or a chain that they're working with who's looking for.
We thought this would be a
for
good
the-
connection
for your
for Sue
demographic.
Vicino.
Right,
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
We have
Town
West-
Center West,
Town Center West,
Yeah,
that's it.
yep, you're all on the same page, which is great.
Yeah,
right. So
Yeah.
we're trying to help with trying to,
That could be an opportunity, and I don't believe well, they may work with some developers, but you know, it'd be worth a conversation because they want to meet you guys. That's why they presented to us today, because they want an introduction to economic development professionals throughout the county. And so I'm going to connect Dawn with Jessica Labadia, who presented to us today, and then you guys could take it from there. But, you know,
I
the
think it'd
more
be
we
good
work
help for them.
together and help each other,
Yeah.
the better we are.
right,
And then I'll leave you with this. From DECD, actually from the governor on down, you know, I mentioned Paul Lavoie, the chief manufacturing officer, to DECD, and everyone involved in all these resource organizations. They're such great cheerleaders for the state. You don't hear the gloom and doom. And so it's really, it's kind of contagious when you're going around with one of these state officials and he's just talking about, you know, uplifting the communities and the businesses and the grants, and it really is different than I've seen in the past. Today, we actually had a manufacturer present to us as well, and he was talking about company culture and taking care of his people and taking care of all his vendors and just the customer service that they provide. I mean, we all know you go into a store and you don't get customer service anymore. But it's starting in these large companies again, and it starts with the company culture and the changes that they're making, and it kind of resonates with everyone, and it's contagious. So to hear the positive side to a lot of this is great, and so we're out there, like, you know, Joe was here. Joe's a great cheerleader for business, and, you know, I have to put my smile on, so I put it on every now and then. So, you know, as economic development professionals, all we could do is talk about the positive things, and I always would say that, you know, when I was in business, because I own a small business, no matter how good or bad the business was, when someone would say, "How is business?" I would say, "It's great," because people always want to do business where the action is. They want to be there. They think they're missing out if they're not doing business with you. So you just, you know, sing the positive stuff, and it helps sometimes.
yeah.
yeah. Well, thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you for the time.
Thank you so
For
much.
the rest of the meeting. I appreciate
Yeah,
the time.
thank you.
So that was a great segue for us. Because next we have up the business visitation schedule. So Ray had sent us out what he felt the first 7 should be. And Daniel, he said you would set up schedules. Are we planning like how far out we are planning, or is it
I think
just whenever you can?
going by the minutes, I think we're ready to go whenever you guys are, you know,
Okay,
your schedules.
I didn't get that.
It's in the email that we got.
it's right, I think it's your last page.
Yeah, it's like, or it's
There it is, yep,
Okay, yep.
that's it.
It's a quick
Big
little
block.
list of some of them. Yeah, I mean,
So I think for me, it's going to be based on when they're available to meet, because you know,
Yeah.
schedules change. drop of
we
a
all
hat.
actually probably have very similar
Yeah,
schedules,
like they
which is we
are-
have no idea what they're going to be.
Exactly. So, but if we can block, take a block out, then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Could
I
do
mean,
that.
maybe the best way to go about it is something like I can call them, find out what the best time that they could put aside for
Perfect.
visitation is, and then reach out to you guys. And if 2 of the 3 of you can make it,
Perfect.
then
Yeah.
those
Awesome.
2 would
Say-
probably be the people to do it.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say something like, we've
If it's
got
after
Scrubs
6
on
PM,
Main
it's him.
Street, hey, we talked to somebody over there, they have time, Wednesday's their slow day or something. They have time between 1 and 3. Does that work for anybody?
That would be
Send it back out
perfect.
to us, and we go, okay, yeah, boom, boom. Because it's, for us at least, it's
Yeah.
probably going to be those random times in the middle of the afternoon.
Right.
Exactly.
Not
Right,
6 o'clock at night,
No.
maybe not first thing in the morning.
If it is 6
not-
o'clock, it's,
right.
Well, none of these
the
people,
night owl.
none of them are going to be wanting to
no.
Nobody's
meet
meeting us
after
at-
hours
no,
anyway.
No.
This is a work-related thing for them. They're going to be there. 9 to
Yeah.
5 or earlier.
But if you guys are okay with
Monday
that
through
plan,
Friday.
Yep.
you
Yeah.
set the time and then actually can go out to pretty much everybody. And then, right? And then
Yep,
we'll
and
just,
then
whoever
whoever
takes it
wants to-
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed like 2 was the number that we're going to try
Yeah.
to go
2
with.
is the number we're
Yep.
going
Yep.
for.
I would say so. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds great.
worst case scenario, only one person's available.
Did you want to wither that list down at all, or do you just want me to call the?
So I think those are all great.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with all of them,
Yeah.
too.
I
I
would,
feel like it's a nice mix.
I
of
would
the
go to any of
smaller-
those, yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. We got everything from international businesses like Simoniz to Still Hill Brewery, one location, handful of employees.
Yep.
Perfect.
I think so. I agree.
Start plug them away. And yeah, unfortunately, it's just going to be dependent on schedules.
Schedules.
and
Right,
Yeah.
but there's enough of us
For-
that we should be able to accommodate whatever they send out. Somebody's going to.
Probably at least for us, I mean, the middle of the week, middle of the day is like
Right.
pretty flexible.
Yep.
They might be different. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But you'll get one or two of us off this whole commission to
Yeah.
attend, so.
I think that will,
Yeah, we're the best out of them anyway, so as long as we're available, then we don't need to worry about the other side.
thank you,
fine.
Daniel.
No problem.
All right, so we're good with those. We're good with that plan. Yay.
Yep.
Okay, economic development work plan. Discussion.
So is that just talking about what we're going to work on next?
Yeah, I think this is what we should be focusing on right now.
Yeah.
So, and we have our,
We have some questionnaires,
yep, you got
the
one.
visitation surveys,
Yep,
blank
so-
one, I guess.
Yeah, so
we
the
gotta just-
plan for that is just to obviously work it into our conversation with them.
Yeah.
Use it as an outline,
Do
not,
we have a digital version of this,
Of the,
of the visitation survey?
no, we just, last I saw was just the Word document that you guys
Word
had
doc.
developed.
So
But I'm sure we could put it on some sort of
my only,
Survey Monkey or some sort of app like that.
well, it's
Yeah,
really
that's-
just for us to write. We're not going to hand it to them.
right, we're just writing this down.
Yeah.
My main thing is, okay, now we have this data.
Oh, take it all, gather it. Makes
So
sense.
is it gonna be a PDF in somebody's, or is it just gonna be in a file somewhere?
I mean, I
the
know in the
best way
last-
would that to be in a database to be able to look back and say, oh, we talked to
I think the
talked to
plan-
Mark, and this was the information that he said when we visited him October 3rd.
I think
We were
of
talking about
2024.
Excel,
an
right?
Excel
Yeah.
program,
okay.
just so we at least
Excel
have their
sheet to start
contact
at least.
and email.
Yeah, I think that's in the meeting minutes from the last one. I think we said Excel.
Yep.
Somebody there, I believe it was you, Alan, suggested CRM. Everybody got happy.
I got really happy with that,
Yeah.
because that's such a nice, easy way, but it seemed like that got shot down.
Well, we're probably not gonna pay for that, so.
But yeah,
It's all right,
Excel
we'll
would be
start
on our
with
budget.
Excel.
especially when we're starting with 7 or 10 businesses.
Yeah.
That information should be pretty easy to manage at that point.
So what does that look like? I just want to chase out the logistics of it. So set up a meeting, go to the meeting, have a conversation, whether it's while we're there, we're saying, hey, just, what type of businesses are you in? Where are you at? Blah, blah, blah. Then we fill this out and then what? I scan it and email it to you.
I mean, that could work.
I bring it to the next meeting and say, here you go. Sorry, I spilled.
Scan it so
I
that he can
spilled
get
some
it.
coffee on this in the last week since our meeting.
I would
yeah.
scan it and just send it off to
All right.
him,
And
so
it's-
that he gets it right away.
And everybody has that capability. I mean, I know,
I
I
do,
have
yeah.
scanner access
Yeah.
and all that, so, okay.
And I mean, something like an Excel sheet obviously would kind of be sitting here on like a G drive or something, but maybe if we use something like a Google Sheets or something like that,
Then it'd be
that'd be
easy to
something
just-
Oh, and we can put it.
all of you guys can go edit.
Yep. Or a Google
Throwing
form.
it out there.
Just saying,
Yeah.
that's what I said for the last time, Google form, just,
Yeah. Yeah, we can, even go that route.
okay. Well, right now, we have zero information and zero data.
Right.
So we
So-
will
So
be,
we'll start. You start
If we
making
have,
those
if
calls.
we have 5 on a random sheet of paper, that is improvement from what we have now.
Right, right.
it would be nice, so
start
to
building.
start the
We'll start
plan,
building and we'll-
start,
Yeah.
Tweak it from there.
Let's get out and meet some of these businesses and start to, and I've been into a few businesses in the last few days or so, and I was like, I wish I had that survey with me so I could just
Yeah.
ask the owner right now.
So a nice thing too is that we now, if we get more information from Advanced CT, we could have more information to give to the business owners. If somebody says, oh, you know, I'm struggling with
Yeah.
whatever, we can hopefully get some information from them and use
Well,
that
and
as
it's,
a resource
and
for
it's
them.
also a very easy handoff to talk about, you know, if they've gotten connected with the chamber, and if they're not, then how they could, and,
Yeah, that would be perfect.
I mean, that's a,
Yeah.
because, you know, at the end of the day, it's Middlesex Chamber. It's big. It's
Yeah.
all over the place.
Right.
And there's only a couple Joes. If more than one, then he's got to be in every town. So every additional point of contact that can help connect to that, to, you know, to the larger organization is beneficial to everybody.
Yeah.
Because we want Rocky Hill to be well represented there too.
Yep.
Cool.
One step closer.
Yeah.
The, if we're all set there and we're looking at other business,
Yes, okay.
I was hoping Ray was gonna be here to ask about the plan of conservation and development. Do we know about the status of this? Anything about it?
That I cannot speak on. My apologies.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything either.
Well, it starts at the Planning and Zoning Commission, and they're the drivers of it. And it was, you know, there's money in the budget, so it's already, money's been allocated. I believe they had already chosen somebody to do that, as a consultant, to do the plan of conservation and development. It's due for 2025, which means basically they started in like July, August. So we're now at the point where that that engagement should have started. I just want to know if it has actually started, and where, you know, are emails going back and forth with different departments
So
maybe.
do you think
and
if we reach out to somebody on planning and zoning, they'd be able to answer that, or?
I have about 50% confidence, but I reached out to Ray about it, I think last week. I didn't hear anything back. So
Okay.
nobody's heard about it. Okay. That was my only question. Do we know where we're at with that?
Nope.
I think it was supposed, yeah, in the budget talks at the council, it was due to start June, July, probably July because of budget timing, but
Okay.
it's going to take a while. It goes through planning and zoning, and then there's meeting with different people, but they are eventually going to make their way to meet with us and talk about economic development. And they'll also talk to other stakeholders in the community about different neighborhoods and things like that. And because that's honestly, when I drive through down Brook Street and Henkel Ave and all of that and see all those signs, I'm like, okay, we need a plan for what we're going to do with all this. And that's where the POCD comes in. So I want to make sure we're working on that sooner rather than later, because it's going to take a long time to put that plan together, let alone implement it. And if we're looking at the CERC information from 2017 as like our most recent big file of information, and the last plan of conservation and development was 2015, I mean, a lot has changed since then.
I'm going to assume they're going to be some major changes.
Yeah, there's a lot of cities larger than ours. I've seen some of theirs in the last couple of years, and it's a lot of changes. Things like complete streets being incorporated and different sectors getting zoned differently and stuff. So I feel like it's as much in our wheelhouse as it is in planning and zoning.
Yeah,
But okay, that's my soapbox.
yeah. Okay.
All right, so then I just wanted to go over that for the part-time economic development and business manager position. There are 4 candidates who are being interviewed on Thursday of this week. So that's a promising step in the right direction.
Cool. Do you have any idea on their background?
I do not. I haven't been given anything. I am going to be sitting in on the interviews, though.
Oh, cool.
So,
Good.
yeah, they're going to give information just beforehand, about an hour before.
Yeah, I was just wondering because it's a part-time role. So is that somebody that does something else part-time as well? Is it a retiree, semi-retiree?
Yeah, good questions.
Is it,
I know that the goal was to get somebody who was, had experience in grant writing or grant applications, things
Yeah.
like that, so,
I think
which is important for
it's
us.
tough. It's a challenge to find somebody that has the salesy, like, communication aspect of economic development and being able to talk to people, and be positive and do all of that type of stuff, and also has the, like, language background of, like, grant writing and stuff like that, and
Right.
in detail oriented stuff. Sometimes, like, salesy and detail is not, they don't always go together. But there was an organization, a nonprofit that I was on the board of, and we hired a part-time grant writer, and it was like just all they did part-time was write grants, and it resulted in millions of dollars because other parts of the organization don't have the time or the skill to sit down and put together an entire grant. So the question is, they're going to have plenty of work.
Oh,
They'll
yeah.
have plenty of work, yeah. So, okay,
All
let's
right,
see.
that's good.
Cool.
What else? Anything else?
I
Anything
don't believe so. Anything else we should know? Is there any other stuff from our email that, let me look back at was there any outstanding stuff from the minutes from last time?
No, there's been a lot of discussion, though, I've seen about what the gas station is, and we still, none of us figured that out, right?
Yep,
It's
nope,
some kind of mercury,
Yeah.
something,
It's a gas station.
the gas station.
and convenience store. Okay.
It's coming right along, though. It's quick.
Yeah,
It
is.
is.
Coming along big.
Yeah.
They're moving.
Yep.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with the restaurant next to the gas station?
Oh, Tomato Joe's?
The one
You
that-
know somebody who wants to go in there?
The one that-
Is the building for sale?
So I don't know. We had talked once, they had a buyer that I'm not exactly sure what the issue was. And then the last person that was going in was the dispensary, or that was going in front of planning and zoning right, planning and zoning?
Yes.
Right,
And then they withdrew their application.
yeah.
Yeah, so I haven't heard anything since that.
No, and I spoke with somebody, and I believe there was still some ambiguity about whether that application might be coming back.
Oh,
So,
I would just
To be
like them
determined.
I would like them to mow the weeds.
yeah. I don't,
They're
I
8
don't
feet
know
high.
if the building, I don't know if the building is on the, like, being sold
I-
on the open market or
Yeah,
not.
I
don't-
haven't noticed it anywhere, so I don't know.
I believe there was something that was just posted for planning and zoning for here on Old Main Street to retrofit one of these office buildings to turn into residential. Don't quote me on that.
I
And
think we're gonna
build
see a
and
lot of
also
that.
build another building of residential. Let me see. For the 20, okay, that's the next one. Oh no, that's
Well, Stepney Place, in Greenfield Village, they were working on that.
Right.
let me see. September 18th is the next planning and zoning. Yep. So there's a pre-application.
Okay,
100 to 200 Laura Lane,
okay,
LLC,
Yep.
and 748 to 750 Old Main Street, so literally across the street, to discuss a possible zoning change in the town center to add a two-story apartment building. And also let me see. I believe also retrofit the building that's currently there.
so is
And convert
748,
the office building at 750 Old Main Street to 34 apartments.
so is that the brick building that's the, kind of sits sideways?
Yeah, with it has like a little covered kind of drive-through or a covered entrance.
Now I'm gonna have to when I leave. I think it's
You're
the
gonna have to look,
building where they
And
share
Laura
the
Lane
entry.
is the one is
In
the
the
street
back.
in the back with the apartment complex.
That is
I believe.
apartments,
Yep.
yeah,
But that's a big parking lot and a big space there.
right.
So,
I think we're gonna see a lot of those requests for the retrofitting because
is we have the vacancy.
the office
And that
space
type
is
of
just
building
not-
is older too. So it's a little different than a big spread out office building that, that isn't really set up for housing.
Right,
These are all, if you've been in that building.
individual offices
It's
off
all
the
like,
main
yeah,
halls.
individual office with a shared hall. I mean, as long as you can get plumbing stuff right, which it's probably not too difficult to do that. So it's on the agenda for planning and zoning as a pre-application, September 18th.
So they're just kind of testing the waters.
Yeah, that's kind of the process. Put it in front, warm everybody up to it, maybe get a little bit of feedback. It would be 41 bedroom apartments, 10% of these deemed affordable, and to convert the office building to 34 apartments with,
Are they also one bedroom, did it say, or no?
yep,
So 74 one-bedroom apartments?
yep. 10% of them being
Marked as affordable, yeah,
deemed affordable. Yep.
interesting.
None of the meeting packets aren't available yet with the details of what the design might look like or anything like that. It doesn't look like, but so that's interesting. And, one of the areas that we've tried to, zone for a little bit more density is the town center area. We already have multifamily housing there
Right,
and some very nice walkable businesses nearby.
and they're open.
when they're open. And obviously the town hall, the community center, all that stuff. Church, bus stops. I mean, it's convenient, it makes sense. But
Yeah,
we'll see what their plan is, so. Well, we won't, planning and zoning will.
it would be nice, though, if we could somehow get a developer in who would build housing that would be purchased instead of just apartments for people and market all as affordable. And just so home ownership, I mean, I'm big on home
I know.
ownership, as I'm
Yeah,
sure you
well,
two are.
I mean, we've got a lot of condos in town. It would be great even if people build condos, but unfortunately the economics aren't
Yeah.
there for it right now.
Yeah.
It's, and
Would
the
be
only
nice,
homes that are
though.
being built are larger homes, and we don't really have a lot of space unless we
Well,
start
we
getting
don't
rid
have
of
the
farmland.
space. Well, we don't want to
Nope.
get rid of
And
farmland.
we don't really want to get rid of farmland.
So, okay.
Unless you know somebody that's got a bunch of farmland they don't want to deal with anymore. Dawn.
Everybody loves their farmland.
Yeah.
So,
All right, well, have we jabbered
yes.
enough? Killed
Good
enough
info.
time?
Yes.
Give
so
everybody else back the rest
Motion
of their
to
night.
adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I will second.
Okay, we're adjourned. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Adjourned.